Mike Johnson says he serves the people, but when the lights went out and families needed food on the table, he kept the house dark and the cameras off. That isn't leadership. It's a loyalty test to one man. And here's the twist. The only betrayal in this story isn't of Trump. It's of the American people. Let's be clear about the stakes. While TSA officers guarded airports without pay, while parents stretched groceries and begged for clarity on SNAP benefits, the Senate moved. They debated. They negotiated a clean stopgap. The House sent home. Weeks off the job in the middle of a shutdown and a cost crisis. That's not gridlock. That's abandonment.
So right now, let's bring in Democratic Representative from California, Eric Swalwell. Congressman, good to see you, especially on a Saturday here. So,
thanks, Al.
Senate Democrats unveiled their compromise deal to end this shutdown, extending the ACA subsidies just for 1 year and saying they will vote on a clean CR. You heard me talking to Kevin, and you know the Republicans very quickly shot that down, repeating Obamacare tax credits are a non-starter. But with the Senate in session right now, could we see a weekend miracle?
That'd be great. That'd be great for the federal workers who are showing up and not getting paid. It'd be great for the millions of Americans who are looking at these eye-popping insurance rates they're going to be paying next year that are 300 to 400% more. And I have to tell you, it'd be great for the TSA agents who you typically don't notice when you go through the metal detector. You just don't want your belt or your bag to set off an alarm. They're usually viewed as an inconvenience, although they do a really important job. And now I and many others I've noticed in line are just whispering to them, thank you, because I don't know anyone, Alex, who would work without pay for 42 days. But to these folks, there's something more important than money. It's our safety. But for Republicans, what I'm seeing is that the most important thing to them is to protect the president from these Epstein files, which is largely driving the House from coming back. And so it's quite concerning. But if you see a TSA agent at the airport today, please just say thank you. Yeah. These folks are working without pay, and they're doing a critically important job.
Yeah, I made my way through LAX about a week ago, and let me tell you, I was thanking him just like you are. So let's talk about this ruling that we got with the Supreme Court last night, which is allowing the Trump administration to temporarily prevent full SNAP benefits from being paid out for November, while another court makes a determination soon about it. What do you tell your constituents, sir, who see a government shutdown from a...
Why? Because governing you'd expose the game. Keeping members away spares Johnson the votes that would split his conference. Do we fund the government, or do we keep playing to Trump's grievance politics and internet rabbit holes? We heard the rationalizations, affordability, process, negotiating, leverage. But Americans don't live on talking points. They live on paychecks and prices and the basic promise that their government shows up.
A deadlocked Congress, a Supreme Court preventing families from getting the immediate relief they need to buy food, and with the executive having ever-increasing power, making demands of Republicans who are in control of everything.
The president has the power and the money to feed hungry Americans. But let's be honest here, Alex. It's easy for people with food to debate about helping people without food. But those people are going hungry now, every day, every night, and they're not waking up to breakfast, but what they're waking up to is a government that is shut down, largely because Republicans don't care if your insurance premiums go up 300%, but are really concerned about protecting Donald Trump from the Epstein files. They've chosen the files. I'm choosing the friggin' food, and that's what most Americans are choosing. And so Republicans should get back to work on the House side. And if they don't want to work, we should put Mike Johnson's job on LinkedIn. He's not showing up. People probably don't remember what he looks like. We've not been in session for 50 days, Alex. That's longer than a summer August recess. And so it's time for us to get back to work and end this shutdown.
Yeah. So the word of this week seems to be affordability. I mean, even your colleague, Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, is pushing back against Trump's claims that prices are going down. New York City Mayor-elect Mamdani won largely on this issue. Should affordability be the Democrats' platform heading into the midterms? I mean, is this issue resonating most with your constituents? And is it another way of phrasing that classic 1992 Clinton campaign winning mantra,
This is the authoritarian tactic in miniature. Starve the system, inflame the base, then claim only a strong man can fix the chaos you created. It's not new, and it's not clever. It's power first, people second. And it always comes wrapped in a culture war story to distract you from the human cost. A story about Epstein files or whatever today's shiny object is, anything to avoid a recorded vote that would show the truth. There are bipartisan majorities to keep the government open and to feed families. The Speaker just didn't want those majorities to exist on paper. Here's the MAGA Mike revenge plot everyone whispers about. Deny Democrats a governing win. Deny the Senate a partner. Deny the American public the dignity of a functioning House and call it courage. But revenge politics ages fast.
It's the economy, stupid.
Yes, and I would call the mantra, it costs too much. Literally and figuratively. The president promised he'd bring down prices on day one. We're approaching day 300. He's 0 for 300. And figuratively, this administration costs too much in the rights that are being stripped away from our immigrant friends and neighbors, from women who can't make decisions about their bodies. So a mantra that I'm going with is, it costs too much, and you work too hard, and you have invested so much and bet on yourself that your country should bet on you. Bet on your job wages going up, your costs coming down, bet on your kids' future, bet on your kids' safety, bet on you doing better and dreaming bigger because of your hard work. And so that message resonated in Virginia, it resonated in New Jersey, in California, from basically Manhattan to Manhattan Beach. It cut through, and it's one that can win for the midterms just a year from now.
So California Governor Gavin Newsom is appearing today with Texas lawmakers for a rally after the passage of Proposition 50 to redistrict California. He also went to the COP30 climate summit in Brazil, which President Trump boycotted this year. What is Governor Newsom's role while Trump is in the White House? Is he a foil to Trump? Is he a leader for Democrats? Is he both? Is he neither? How do you see it?
It curdles into chaos. And the rule of law, courts that enforce rights, watchdogs that expose corruption, journalists who tell the truth, becomes the enemy because it can't be bullied into silence. This moment demands something simpler and braver. Show up, put the bills on the floor, and let representatives vote their districts, not their fears. Choose food over feuds. Choose oversight over obedience. Choose the Constitution over a cult of personality.
He is show, not tell. There are a lot of people right now who are sending strongly worded letters. We've seen that come out from some Democratic senators. And Gavin Newsom is show, not tell. He goes to court to fight the Trump administration when he's declared war on our streets, and he's won. He went to the voters with Prop 50, which, by the way, I call Prop Fairness, because Prop 50 was just another effort of California saving the country. We were asked to do it again, and we answered. And so Gavin Newsom is stepping up and showing that we can either be on our heels and see the most vulnerable in our communities on their heels, or we can have the Trump administration on theirs. And so it's a model that I hope other governors recognize and other attorneys general across the country recognize, because we're either going to be on offense or we're going to be on defense. And when we're on defense, the most vulnerable in the community suffer.
Yeah. Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi announced she's not running for re-election. How much will her guidance be missed by Democrats?
Tremendously. She is my work mom. She has prepared us for this moment in the number of colleagues who she has mentored over the years through her, her ability to keep the caucus together, our diversity being our strength, but also her ability to, just be unflappable and to never flinch in the face of Donald Trump's abuses. But as we approach the midterms, I'll never forget sitting next to her on a plane on one of these cross-country red-eyes. And I'll tell you, Alex, when I get on a red-eye, I just try and sleep, especially with a bunch of little kids. I sit next to Nancy Pelosi. I know I'm not going to sleep because she doesn't sleep and she works and reads. And on a red eye during the first Trump administration, I asked her if she thought that a wave was coming. And she looked at me and she said, "Eric, We don't wait for waves, we make the waves. And I've never forgotten that. And that's just the leadership that she's always shown. And for me, those are marching orders for what we need to do for the next year to make sure that we win the midterms and cut our time in hell by half.
I love that story. She has never let grass grow under her feet, for sure. All right, Congressman Eric Swalwell, good to see you. Thank you so much.
You too.
Because the longer this House hides from basic governing, the more ordinary people pay the price for a political stunt. So no, Mike Johnson didn't betray Trump tonight. He betrayed the idea that a speaker's first job is to the country, not to a candidate. And that's why the answer in a democracy is still beautifully boring. Count the votes, pass the bills, keep faith with the people. If you want revenge, let it be at the ballot box, not against each other, but against the cynicism that says we can't do better. We can, and we will.